Well, when Marvin was born, it had been 4.5 years of marriage, and so we were ready. I was ready. And he wasn't really ready because it was 17 hours of labor. But nevertheless, he came, and I was just elated. I was so happy because he was the firstborn, and he, of course, was going to be Marvin Gilliam Jr.
Well, I met Marvin when I was 4 years old, and it was the first Sunday that Dad took us with him to Union Branch Baptist Church. And being the independent trailblazer that I am, I went to Sunday school that morning by myself. And when I walked in the room, I met Marvin, and we have been friends ever since then.
I think his father and my role was just to live a life that was Christ-centered and doing the right thing as best that we knew how, and correcting him when he was wrong, but letting him know that we loved him just the same. And that unconditional love, of course, is what Jesus gives to us.
When I first met Marvin, the first thing I noticed was Marvin has a smile that'll light up a dark room. If you're having a down day, Marvin needs to be that person you call, or you say something. He's gonna say something that's gonna make you laugh. He's just that person.
I met Reverend Gilliam my ninth grade year at George Wood High School. He was the choir teacher. And from then I just noticed that this was a sharp-dressed man with the finest button-downs in the city, and always could wear a pair of jeans. They were so starched, but it was a good pair of jeans.
I met Marvin 1996. I was a young kid at Union Branch Baptist Church, following behind Marvin, trying to learn things early on, what type of person he was, and that's when I really got a hung of. And during his college days, from about 99 to 2000, when he first started at the Virginia State University, I was one of those people that called Marvin every day, talked to Marvin. Even when Marvin was in class, I would leave him voice messages on his phone to say, hey, give me a call when you get out of class.
My greatest lesson that I learned from him as a teacher was to be yourself. In George Wythe, I was ninth grade. I was awkward, taller than everybody, bigger than everybody else in the class, and I really had trouble finding my way. And so he wanted to set me down and say, just be you, because God only made one you. And so from then on, that's the greatest lesson that he ever taught me.
When I preach my initial sermon, I'll tell anybody, him and Jennifer were on their way to getting married. 2011, I was calling Marvin every day as I prepared to stand for the first time as a minister. Shout out to Jen for being that loving wife that understood the journey of what it was to be married to a preacher. He was really an asset, and I told him, and I tell him till this day, man, it's been almost 8 years, and you have really helped me become who I am, with God leading me, but you being that big brother and that asset that I could call on till this day and say, hey Marv, what's going on?
To describe him as a father and a husband, he is an incredible father. He is dedicated, reliable. He's playful with the boys and Layla. And it just makes my heart smile when I see their interaction. They love their dad. And you know, one of the things that was quite incredible was when I was carrying Marvin. As most people know, Marvin is our rainbow baby, so we had a miscarriage before we got pregnant with little Marvin. But when I was carrying Marvin and they did this 3D ultrasound, I was like, this baby looks just like him. I was like, this is not fair, you know.
It's really hard to put into words what his friendship has meant over these years. There has been a consistency that has been there that has meant more in many phases of my life than a lot of things. Being able to connect with someone and talk to someone and share with someone who has been there with you through the years when things were going really well for you and when things weren't going really well for you. And you know that the connection and the support and the love is really genuine, because they've been there through the difficult times, and they're able to genuinely celebrate with you when things are going better. And so it has been a tremendous blessing to my life. Marvin's life and his experience and just his commitment to the Lord has always been an encouragement for me, an inspiration for me, as well as a challenge for me to do better.
As a husband, just wonderful. He is the melody to my heart's love song. And he is just the words to all the pages of my life story. He is the push that I need in the beginning of a day. And I know that he is God-given because I don't deserve him, but God gave him to me anyway.
Yeah, his superpower and what makes him so special is just he's a genuine and loving person.
If I could give him a superpower, the superpower that I would say that he already has is just his passion.
What makes him so special is that he's unapologetically him. He laughs, he has an unorthodox way of teaching, but somehow or another he got all the kids to sing, even the ones who didn't want to sing. His personality was so infectious, you know, you just wanted to give him a hug every time, wanted to joke with him every time. He's a Green Bay Packers fan, so every day I joked about him because I'm a Cowboy fan, so we just went back and forth every day, even though we was better, just saying.
I know it sounds crazy, but super intelligence. He's really smart. And he's really intelligent on all levels. Certain things I'm like, why do you even know this? Why is this even important? But he knows because he reads all the time. He reads all the time. He listens to a lot. He's very observant. And yeah, I think he would have the power of super intelligence. Like,
he is one of the most passionate people about everything that he does that I know. There is nothing that Marvin commits himself to that he doesn't bring passion to, and that's important. And it is demonstrated and seen in every area of his life, not just in ministry to the church, but in his ministry to his family, in his ministry in the school when he was teaching there, and just in his relationships with his friends and with his family.
He'll show you things that you need to know about yourself. He'll pull things out of you as a part of one of his gifts, as one of his spiritual gifts as a preacher, to be able to really get down and to find out what type of people he's dealing with.
When he accepted his call to Christ, when he confessed his sins and gave his life to Christ, that was a proud moment. His senior recital, singing in different languages, that was a proud moment. His graduation from both schools, so many proud moments. And most of all, probably my proudest moment is when he and his wife Jennifer said I do.
Yeah, so my hope is that honestly that he just be a good pastor and will be a good family for Mount Carmel and then the Churchill community as well, and even Richmond altogether. Because we're not in this journey just as pastor and family, we're in this journey as pastor and church family. So my hope is that he just continue to lead in a positive and impactful and faithful journey with God at his front and his back and with us by his sides.